Just a short thought, really. I've been looking at the New English Bible, and there's a version I've not used to that much, haven't been using really. And yeah, it's got some interesting titles, and I find them really helpful. It just gives me a fresh perspective about different passages in the New Testament. And I'm looking here at Luke 23, and the title at the top of the page is The Final Conflict, and I think it's a lovely way to describe the cross. It's the it is finished. It's the final battle, like in the Chronicles of Narnia. It's that whole thing of Jesus finishing the job that he's come to do and to complete. And I'm going to read a little bit from verse 26, and this is what it says. As they led him away to execution, they seized upon a man called Simon from Cyrene on his way in from the country, put the cross on his back, and made him walk behind Jesus carrying it. As they led him away to execution, they seized upon a man called Simon from Cyrene on his way in from the country. They put the cross on his back and made him walk behind Jesus carrying it. Sometimes we have a task to do, and on that day I can imagine that was just another enforced moment of Roman telling a local, certainly sounds like he's a foreigner from North Africa who's living there or travelling through there, a Roman telling him what to do, being instructed something he doesn't really particularly want to do. Probably it's very hot, I suspect it's pretty heavy, and he may have had other things on his mind at that point. You didn't really get a chance to argue with a Roman. You were told, you're going to have to do this or do that. Forget what you're doing right now and do this job. And there was a kind of an abuse, really, of people's everyday lives, where they were just simply pressed into service without argument, without discussion, without excuse. They were just told, do this, do that. That lack of freedom, that lack of individual choice in the matter, to that extent, we're struggling with different freedoms and liberties at the moment, aren't we, in the Western world with the COVID outbreak. But the lack of freedom, the lack of ability to run your own everyday life, at a moment's notice, anything can be instructed and forced upon you. And yet in the middle of that, Simon of Cyrene not only gets a mention here in Luke 23, he gets a mention in Scripture, but he plays a key role in something of eternal destiny. So don't underestimate those little tasks, the things that you end up doing which you feel like maybe a bit resentful or unhappy about doing. Don't underestimate the significance of the things that God is giving you to do, and how that might be a lot more important than you ever realised in the first place.